Welcome back. This is Live at 1. Two matters of land now, where a petition that seeks to interpret the mandate of the National Land Commission and that of the Ministry of Lands will be heard on the 22nd of May. This is after the Chief Registrar of the Supreme Court, Lucy Njora, directed the Law Society of Kenya to appear before a two-judge bench alongside the two warring entities. This morning, the LSK filed an application to the Supreme Court seeking to be enjoined in the petition that was filed by the National Land Commission earlier this month. NLC moved to the Appellate Court seeking opinion advisory on its matters of land administration after wrangles emerged between them and the Cabinet Secretary in charge of land, Charity Ngilu.
The matter came up for direction before the Deputy Registrar. It will come for mention on the 20th, for hearing on the 22nd of May 2014 before a two-judge bench. The procedure under the Supreme Court Act is that preliminary issues are heard by two judges, a bench of two judges, before the two judges make a decision as to whether the full bench of 7 or 6 judges will hear the main advisory. I will tell you that the advisory raises fundamental questions of interpretation of mandate between the National Land Commission and the Ministry of Land. As you are aware, there are administrative questions, there are questions of human resource of staff, there are questions of who owns assets, there are questions of whose role is it to manage land, and that includes issuing titles.
Let's now move on to matters of security, and the Kenya Airports Police Unit that was destroyed in the fire that destroyed part of the airport building has been reopened. Speaking at the event, Inspector General of Police David Kimayo gave an update on the measures being implemented to boost security in the airports. Our reporter Henry Githaiga now joins us live on phone from JKI for more details. A very good afternoon, Henry Githaiga.
Good afternoon to you too, Michael.
Githaiga, the Inspector General is talking about new measures to be taken when it comes to matters of security. What are the measures?
The Inspector General was essentially talking about some of the key security zones that are in place in the country, including the airports, which are very sensitive. Yes. And he was receiving additional equipment from the Kenya Airports Authority, including a few cars to enable them patrol along the airport and also to boost security efforts. But of key concern, one of the things that he pointed out is that contrary to popular belief, most Kenyans believe that small arms are the biggest threat to the country, but he says they're now focusing on improvised explosives because if you mix a few chemicals in your house, you could be able to be a much bigger threat than someone with small arms, and especially in this day and age when terrorism is becoming a great concern for the country. And so he's calling upon Kenyans to avail information to the police, which now includes information that you deem necessary to security agents to enforce security at the moment. And he says you should not be afraid to come forward with any information. It is the work of the police to determine whether that information is false or correct, and whether or not it is of use to them.
Yes.
And he also pointed out the need to extend vigilance to even places of work. As you know, there is the Nyumba Kumi initiative in place, and he says this should be extended to the workplace, and you should also know people living and working in the same business premises as you. What do they do? What are some of the activities that they undertake? If any of them are suspicious, you are now encouraged to talk to the police about it so that they can start investigations.
Well, Henry, the Inspector General spoke of small arms, saying that small arms are not no more a threat, but the IEDs. Are there special machines? Have they brought special equipment to scan such kind of things at the airport?
Okay. Essentially, what he was saying is not that small arms are not a threat, but he was saying that small arms are not manufactured in the country. We don't manufacture guns.
Yes.
We don't manufacture pistols. We don't manufacture bullets. So it is easier for the police to crack down on this by enforcing security and ensuring that all points of entry, including our porous borders, are taken care of.
Yes.
However, when it comes to improvised explosives, if you mix a few chemicals in your house and you have a timer, you can be able to cause more damage. And this is what he perceives as a threat. On the issue of additional equipment, he has confirmed that the government has already begun procurement for pass-through machines and
Yes.
additional scanners, including handheld scanners, but he was not willing to divulge just what kind of equipment they are investing in. But he also stressed the need to employ and deploy more manpower in critical institutions, including airports.
Yes.
The Kenya Airports Authority has also donated to the police and adequate land for the setup of a GSU camp along the flight path that is around Kiangombe. And if you would remember, the Kikambala bombing was a big scare for the country, where someone tried to take down a plane using rocket-propelled grenades. So
Yes.
it looks like the police are opening themselves up to bigger security risks, including the attacks on aircraft. From an intelligence perspective, he may not have been willing to divulge any more information on this because from my perception of what he was talking about, he's more concerned about availability of information and Kenyans not cooperating with the police in terms of going through the security checkpoints and also divulging information on people that they perceive are undertaking suspicious activities.
All right, thank you very much, Henry Githaiga. Of course, we'll be joining you later in our subsequent bulletins as you give us a detailed coverage of that story. We've been talking to Henry Githaiga live from the JKIA, where the Kenya Airports Police Unit that was destroyed by a fire that destroyed part of the building at the JKIA has been rebuilt again, and it's now operational. And Inspector General David Kemayo was there to reopen the unit, and he said that now there will be new measures taken to fight insecurity in the country. Of course, Henry Githaiga will be giving us a detailed coverage later on in our subsequent bulletins. Take a short break. We'll be right back with the day's business. Welcome back. Well, she's only 25 years old. Despite having a white-collar job as an accountant, Caroline Mwangi opted to venture into passion fruit farming almost out of curiosity. Tonight, on the weekly agribusiness segment on Citizen Business Center, Smart Farm, our reporter Dennis Otieno will feature this ambitious young lady who has taken a leap into growing and selling one of the most lucrative fruits in the country. What does it take for one to venture into passion fruit farming? What are the opportunities for growth? Where are the markets? Well, Caroline will answer all these and other questions tonight on Smart Farm.
They looked like an economically viable idea to me, in my opinion. It's a bit stable. Then I wanted something that would challenge me. I thought I could research on it. I had a friend who was doing it already, so I would have somebody to guide me through.
Well, of course, we'll be giving you details of that later tonight on Citizen Business Center. So be sure to join Terry and Chebet and I as we give you details. Now, as the month of April comes to an end today, official statistics show that Kenya's monthly rate of inflation went up to 6.41% this month, up from 6.27% recorded in March. The Kenya National Bureau of Statistics has largely attributed the increased inflation to higher food prices. Tomatoes were the most expensive between March and April, with households spending 18.5% more. The price of sukuma wiki also went up by 3 points, 63%, while onions cost 2.56% more. But the cost of electricity reduced by 0.48%, while the cost of cooking fuels, including charcoal, firewood, gas, increased by 0.3%. Despite a slight drop in the cost of diesel, commuters still paid higher fares, resulting in a 3.62% increase in the cost of transport. The last time inflation went up was in September last year, when it shot up to 8.29% with the enactment of the VAT Act that imposed a 16% tax charge on a wide basket of goods and services, which include basic commodities such as processed milk. I'll take a look at how the shilling did today at the forex currency market. The Kenyan shilling has held steady today, with commercial banks quoting it at an indicative rate of 86 shillings and 77 cents buying, 86 shillings and 96 cents selling. However, forex traders expected the local unit to come under pressure as importers from the manufacturing and energy sectors buy dollars to meet their end-month obligations. The shilling lost ground to the sterling pound to trade at 145 shillings and 95 cents buying, but gained to the euro to trade at 119 shillings and 86 cents buying. And finally, on the regional front, the local unit gained to both Ugandan and Tanzanian shillings, exchanging at 28 shillings and 94 cents buying against the Ugandan shilling, and at 18 shillings and 84 cents versus the Tanzanian unit. And that's business. Well, time for the day's sports now.